Hi, I'm Betsy Ochello. I'm a faculty member in the Mary Ann Remick Leadership Program here at the University of Notre Dame. And we are back with a new episode of We Are All Readers and Writers in our special edition celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. And so this week we wanted to highlight two books that have English and Spanish editions, which is a wonderful opportunity to be able to read the book in English or in Spanish to students. And you might even have a guest reader come into your classroom. If you have a parent of one of your students who feels really comfortable reading in Spanish, you might invite a guest reader to read the same book that you read in English in Spanish for students. And so the first book that we'll talk about is called Bright Star by Yuyi Morales. And this is just a gorgeous book in its art and illustrations, and also really powerful in its message. And so as the story starts off, it is the story of a fawn and her mother. And you can see that the mother says to her fawn, "You are alive. You are a bright star inside our hearts." And you can see the beauty in the natural environment that surrounds them. And then they go on a journey together, and the mother says, "Mira, some things you can see, others you must find." And so throughout the book, you can see really beautiful images of wildlife, of the animals and the plants. And then you can also see the difficulty that's posed when a border wall is erected that is in the way of their natural migration. And then you can also see later in the story that there is a parallel to children as well. And so they say of the children, "You are a bright star inside our hearts." And so I love that this book focuses on all aspects that are affected by borders, both natural environment, animals, and of course, children. And then in the back of the book, the author has a really lengthy explanation of why she made the book, and also about all the different artistic materials that she used. And the most powerful for me is the last one, where she says, "I made this book because I want you to know that no matter where you are, where you've come from, or where you are going, you should always be honored, respected, cared for, and loved," which I think is a really important message for us to share with all of our students and families. And that's a nice transition, thinking about being loved, to our second book, which is called Love. And this book is written by Matt de la Peña and illustrated by Lauren Long. And again, we have a Spanish and English version of this book, which is really powerful. What I love about this book is Matt de la Peña talks about love using all five senses, and doesn't shy away from the more difficult aspects of love. So you can see here, he says, "You wake with a start in the arms of a loved one who bends to your ear and whispers, 'It's okay, it's okay, it's love.' And in time, you learn to recognize a love overlooked, a love that wakes at dawn and rides to work on the bus, a slice of burned toast that tastes like love." And then I think in one of the most powerful images of the entire book, you have a child staring into a mirror, and you read, "And the face staring back at you in the bathroom mirror, this too is love." And so I think that this would be a beautiful book to share with your students, and to talk about the many forms and the many ways we experience love, and the many ways in which we show love to one another, and how love is not always just happy, but love also emerges out of brokenness and out of sadness, and that when we respond with love, we have the opportunity to heal that brokenness and that sadness. So I hope that you will check out both Love and Bright Star, and find ways to share both the English and Spanish editions with your students throughout this month. Thanks, and we'll be back soon with a new episode.